Hey everybody, house update time. And I know you enjoy, or some of you, at least a dozen of you enjoy house updates because you've been asking me for more. Where we left off is we took down a bunch of trees. The goal of that was to try to save some money. Where did I leave off? I left a big mess in the yard. That's gone now. And with the magic of editing, Jimbo can probably have some form of before and after that shows you that this looks much better than it did. Now, the goal of saving money actually worked as well because I got 6 estimates, which is a lot, but I wanted to be thorough. And I went from, of the $38,000, only $28,000 was tree removal, but I got that down now to the lowest estimate of $7,250. And that's to take out the rest of the trees that I didn't touch. So whether that first estimate was high or not, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, I still saved thousands of dollars by doing some of it myself. Now, what cost did I incur from taking that on myself? As I said, I hired some fans. I had 3 guys out here cleaning up the yard and bringing it into a big chipping pile, or 2 chipping piles. That was about $400 for the afternoon. Then it was maybe a little bit, about that, $420, something like that. After that, I then spent $1,150 to have all the piles of crap taken out, and they also chopped up that big tree that was over here. And on top of that, they did stuff that I didn't ask them to do it, but the trees that we did take down where I left the stumps up here, they actually cut down the base, cut them down the ground level, and then took them away with them. So I didn't need it, but it makes things look a lot cleaner for the moment. And they took away everything but the base of this tree, and the property looks a lot cleaner. I got to go over this with a mower, and I'm gonna consider that a success. I'm into it for maybe $1,500, $1,600 plus the additional $7,250. We're looking at $9 grand versus $28,000. Hurrah for me, huge victory. I'll probably get the trees taken down pretty soon. The other updates are I dropped off all the paperwork, the applications. I got the engineers are done with the initial plot design and elevations and all of that stuff. I know how much soil I have to move out, which we'll get to that in a second. Then I've got the architect is done designing the actual house. We got to get that approved. Then we can turn it over to blueprints and actually get everything integrated into the home. Evo. Where we stand is, again, Volvo is back there. So half the guys drive cool cars. You'll notice these big 2 dirt spots here. Now, this property is septic. There's no town sewage here. And you see the deer prints. See? Deer prints, deer prints, deer prints, deer prints. The town septic, we're going to have septic on the property. There is a septic tank over there, but obviously we have to do new ones. So I had to get test holes done to test the quality of the soil. To me, a test hole was like, you know, when they drive a tube into a glacier and pull out a core sample. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what a test hole is going to look like. No, test hole was guy in bulldozer, a little bucket loader thing, scooping up these like 12-foot deep craters in the ground, which one was here, one was over here. There was a person from the county here to oversee that and watch that to make sure the dirt's actually coming out of my holes, and to take a soil sample with them. The good news is I've got really good dirt, which is nice. And it's also frustrating at the same time because as nice as, and this dirt is sort of a culmination of, they made a pile and then, so whatever. But I've got really nice dirt. But then when I was looking at the cost to build, or the estimated cost of some of the pre-building stuff, the cost of the dirt removal was like 30 grand. And I'm like, just level out the backyard or something like that. And we've got, the estimated dirt removal is over 1,000 cubic yards of dirt, which is a lot. It's like probably 20 dump trucks full of dirt. But to me, like, if it's good dirt, I can't just go get good dirt myself. Like, oh, if I go get good dirt, there's not like, oh yeah, who's looking for good dirt? We got free dirt. You got to pay for it. So somebody's got to pay for this dirt, and I got to pay to get it taken away. How do we connect A to B so I can get rid of the dirt without dropping 30 grand to get rid of the dirt? I just said, like, you can see my property is sloped. I'm like, how much is 1,000 metric tons of dirt? Just like my backyard is pretty deep and pretty long. Just smooth it out. Put a retaining wall. We'll have a nice flat backyard up there, and we're not going to have to waste too much dirt. Unfortunately, that we're still working on that part. But again, all of these expenses are what I take as a challenge. When somebody tells me something costs something, I say challenge accepted, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If you're looking for dirt, I'm your guy. But it doesn't make any sense for me to have to pay to take something away and somebody else to have to pay to buy that when the other guy, like, it just, a little frustrating. So we got, the property is pretty much cleaned up. We've got the test holes. We've got the plans in. I've got, now since the property is historical, I have a historical meeting and a zoning meeting. And if I clear both of those, which I may, but I may not, I don't know how these things work. If I do clear both of those, then we're pretty much okay to build. And we're keeping the front wall of the house, maybe even a little bit more, but definitely the front wall. The garage is being moved a little bit further away. The garage is going to be moved a little bit this way and a little bit that way, and be bigger, obviously. I'll get into my plans at a later date. I'll do a whole video on my plans, what I'm looking to do, what I'm hoping to do. I'll probably hold that off till after the meeting, just so I don't rile, like, let me get it approved, and once it's approved, I can share with you what I want to do. Other than that, it's sort of getting expensive. Right now, it's just money out of pocket, money out of pocket, money out of pocket, but you're not seeing anything. Like, you're not, other than clearing some trees, you are not seeing any, like, there's no, this is not the house that I want to live in, and that's not my garage. It is, but it's not technically my garage. It's not what I wish my garage was. So that's where we are. Money out of pocket, money out of pocket. It's actually getting more expensive than I thought. I've actually got 3 different applications that had to go in. I need a soil moving variance. That's through the engineer. I need some sort of historical application, some sort of variance application, because since my property is non-conforming, it's a 2-acre minimum in town. I have an acre. I have a variance, which is a hardship, or I have a hardship, which then results in a variance, and I'm going to have more lot coverage than the town allots for, given the size of my house and whatnot. So, fun stuff. I'm telling you, it's a process. It's manageable, but it's a little bit more involved than I thought. It's tough to see the money flying out of pocket right now and not have anything to show for it. Like, it would be great if I was like, look at the frame of my house, look, that's what it's going to look like, or that's where we're digging a hole, that's where the basement's going to be. And I don't have that right now. It just, and then hoping that the plans don't have to get rejiggered too many times, because that costs money. Hopefully everything goes according to plan. If it doesn't, it gets delayed, and if it gets delayed, it becomes more of a pain in the butt. But once I have my plans, I'll have a rough estimate as to what it's going to cost to build it, which right now I'm not liking what I'm hearing, because it's much more than I was expecting it to be, but we'll save that for next video. So, going away for adventure drives. I'm going to be gone for about 2 weeks. Give me about 3 weeks from this video for another house update. I'll actually bring you inside, because if you watch the podcast, we have a new podcast table. And that's nice. As I said, Dad's closing shop. I started ordering stuff. I got this nice 155-pound table that me and Jimbo brought in here. And nice metal accents on the corners. It's got a leaf that collapses and folds back into the table. And we got this green screen, so to speak, that we can hang on the wall. So who knows? Maybe tonight we'll be podcasting from Bora Bora. I don't know. Depends what we're in the mood for. Maybe Tokyo. Got to tune in to find out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more house updates. Subscribe if you want to see more car stuff. Subscribe if you just want to see me talk about whatever I feel like talking about that day. Ring that little bell and it'll announce when my video goes live, and then you can be like, yo, first. And then everyone's like, no, you're not first, fool. I'm first. I pwned your ass. And then everyone's like, you guys are retarded. And you'll see that go back and forth for the first couple of minutes every video. See you later.